Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 274 of Gaming with Grief. And this is more of an editorial episode. Today, I want to talk about being a fan. So let's get into it. So, being a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of things. Like I'm sure everybody that is watching this, the few people that are watching this are. Um, Yeah, and for this episode, I wrote bullet points of like where I wanted to go and what I wanted to talk about. But looking over my bullet points, I don't think it encapsulates all these feelings that I'm going over. So I'll give you an example. I've talked about on the channel before. I like D&D, playing D&D. There's D&D episodes on the channel. You can watch those. There's new D&D rules out. D&D 50, D&D 2024, whatever you want to call them. You can buy the rules, you can play the game, or you can play the old game that you used to play, like 5e. Some people are even playing second edition. Some people are playing the original D&D. It doesn't matter. Anyway, new rules are out. The amount of vitriol and stuff I've seen online that people just hate the new rules, they hate the new changes, it boggles my mind. Now, I understand. Some of this is because the way YouTube rates algorithms and things like that, that it makes it pretty easy that if you hate something, you will see more and more of it, and that also gets clicks. The 10 worst things about this, the 5 best things about this, all that kind of stuff. Usually it's the worst is what always gets to my timeline. I don't know why. Maybe it says something about what I'm clicking on YouTube, but if you don't like the new D&D or the new rules, don't use them. Use whatever system you and your party want to use. I run a game usually on Thursdays. Like I said, those episodes are up on the site. Please like, subscribe, check those episodes out. But I play in a game on Friday with some people, and the consensus kind of is that we're not going to the new rules. We're just going to use the 5e rules for what we're doing, and that's fine. I'm used to 5e. We've been playing it for years. I've been playing 5e for almost 10 years at this point. But the new rules for me signify like a nice kind of change and like a shrinking of all this stuff. And I sorry, I got animal in the back. It's fresh starts are always good in my opinion, and I do like the changes they've given, the class changes, the race changes. All that stuff to me sounds interesting. Behind the scenes, to pull the curtain back, the group that you see on this on YouTube, Jesse, Todd, Christian, and Fade, we're going to do some play testing in the background of 2024. Now, I don't know if we're going to switch to it 100% of the time because we're in the middle of Dragonlance. I think we're on the back end of Dragonlance, but because modules take a long time, this will take a lot of time to get through Dragonlance. Plus, they're in a travel thing. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. But we're going to play test some of the 2024 rules and see if we like it. And if we like it, we may switch over. There may be a first part and second part to this campaign. And so maybe in the second part we switch over. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Another thing I've seen online that really bugs me is the... I always think of when I think of being a fan as well, is am I a good enough fan? And some of this is self-inflicted. I'm going to be very honest. When you research a new hobby or you're looking into something, like I am putting together some Warhammer minis, just kill team, so it's a little bit smaller. I don't have 1,000-point armies. But you start looking into it. Some people are very good online, but then obviously you fall into the toxic discourse over this isn't viable. Kill Team also released a new edition, or is going to. Maybe my dates are wrong, but I think you can pre-order it. Anyway, there's the thumbnails online of people saying, a Games Workshop nuked my army or whatever. And here's the deal. I don't think that, if you're in a tournament, and to be honest, I haven't clicked on every one of these videos. I'm sure some people compete. But some people are just like me, where they go to the local game store and they play for an afternoon and say that was fun. And I'm sure in that group of people, if you're able to say, hey, I know there's a new edition of the rules out. This is my army. Can I play with it? I'm sure most people at those like not even conventions, just game shops and people's homes. I'm sure everybody would say, "Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. That's your army. Great." So then this person will have that army because you have whatever another army. No big deal. No big deal. Let's play. Um, yeah, it boggles my mind this idea of like, well, they didn't really. I mean, you they didn't come to your house and you didn't lease the army. They didn't come to your house, collect everything, and then go back to their headquarters or whatever. You could still play with that army. It's still on the shelf. Same thing goes for D&D. If you don't, again, if you don't like the new rules, play the old rules. You got all those books on your shelf. You don't need to buy new rules. Another thing I'm seeing online is like, I'll keep this all. I'll do this. Will be the D&D block. I do see um, some hate for some of the art in the books. I think the art is good. Some other people have commented that the Dungeon Master Street that's coming out in like a week uses character art for the back. So instead of looking at a vista when you would unfold the screen, like a dragon flying over mountains or whatever, like the wilderness, you see characters from all races, all whatever, and they're all kind of like facing towards the center, and there's a gold dragon in the center holding a dice, 20-sided dice. And people are like, "Oh man, what were they going with character art? Why would they do this?" Some people don't like the style. I think the style's fine. It's kind of got like a stained glass look. I kind of like that. It makes sense, like the cathedral. Anyway, people are saying, "I don't like the art. Why did they do that?" Because guys, people, listen. It's about the players that play the game. So you probably want to say, "Hey, these are the players. Thanks. It's been 50 years. Let's show a bunch of diverse players." Because these are the characters, these are the characters the players create. Let's show a bunch of just diverse people from, they have like a gnome fighter, like a tiefling rogue, maybe a tiefling fighter. There's a lot of, it's new. I pre-ordered it, but I don't have it yet, so I can't. I've seen some previews. But like there's stuff from all walks of life and stuff like that. Human, cleric, what, it doesn't matter. Yeah, to me it's like, yeah, we're doing this for the players. And instead of showing a dragon, which they do. There's still a dragon on there, or like a vista. Imagine, this version of the game, they're trying to be a little bit more... The layout's better, is all I'll say. And so they're trying to be a little bit... I don't even know if you can onboard people better for D&D. I mean, they tell you online to... Or you'll see com boards say, like, look at actual plays. There's a lot of actual play D&Ds in there. You could do that. I just think that, like, there's just so much hate. Oh, why they go with that art? And you're like, yeah, but, like, what's on the screen? And then they showed what information they put on the screen. I was like, that actually looks very helpful. And it looks like something that we need. And so, man, I just want to talk about stuff I like. The art looks good. They credit each artist under each, piece of art. And I think that should be celebrated, whether it be on the DM screen or in the main two books. I got the alt covers for the Player's Handbook 2024 and the Dungeon Master's Guide 2024. And they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. It's amazing. It's great to see a game that's been out for like 50 years to just have kind of like another kind of refresh, And I'm actually really excited for some of the changes with my players. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, that's my thing about being a fan of D&D. Again, I'm probably clicking on the wrong thumbnails. They're getting me angry. I did see a couple of those errant thumbnails online of like, well, it looks like D&D went woke. And listen, whatever you think about woke or not, like you're talking about a fantasy game where characters control the elements with their fingertips and after years of study can literally rewrite reality. And if you're worried about something being woke because it doesn't look like you, that's just strange to me. You are talking about a world where if a peasant is walking by a graveyard, the ghouls can come up out of the graveyard and you have to go find a cleric to cleanse. It's what I'm saying is it's all fantasy and it's absurd. So you're dealing with something that's already fantastical. The woke stuff, I don't even know. I don't know what that is. I don't, it's just like they just want to show somebody with different skin color, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's go fight a dragon. That's all I'll say that. Two, and this is, I got a little bit bummed out because I was researching this and like reading articles and stuff, and I haven't played the new Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm a Dragon Age fan, just haven't picked up the game yet. My birthday's in like a month or so I'm just kind of waiting. Maybe there'll be a cool Black Friday deal. But I was reading an IGN article. I read IGN articles. The review, I believe they gave him a 9 out of 10. I read that and go, oh, IGN likes it. There's another person I follow on YouTube, SkillUp, out of Australia. He did not like the game. He brought the receipts, as the kids say. I'm too old. I'm probably too old to say that. But he basically showed why he didn't like the game and had video footage, audio footage, everything, recorded his gameplay. Here's why I don't like this. Here's why I don't like that, You can either agree or disagree with this position, but I was reading an article on IGN from one of the other editors from the UK, I believe Matt Purslow, saying, Veilguard, I don't like it, and here's the reasons why I don't like it. And so I read his article and was like, that's interesting, what he's bringing up. Those are interesting points, I don't want to ruin the article. Go read it. It's on IGN. But he's talking about why it didn't work for him. And I was scrolling through the comments because I do that. I'm not one of those people that stays away from the comments. Scrolling through the comments, I do not know what this person is talking about, but somebody in the comments basically said, no wonder this game failed, if they just try to push an agenda on people. And first off, now, the only news story that I've read that's come out of this game is that it's kind of a big deal that it had really big Steam numbers for both EA and BioWare, that this is like one of their biggest Steam launches ever, Does that mean like it sold millions of copies? I don't know. But they're excited enough about it to release a press statement saying, hey, this broke records for Steam for us. This is crazy. They wouldn't say that if it did poorly. And I don't know. I don't know about the game. I don't know the part this person is talking about. And some people in the comments did bring up, like, what are you talking about? Like, they're doing fine. And I think they linked the article that I just talked about, like people writing articles. And they said, well, I'm just saying there's he responded, like, basically, like, there's an agenda there. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, then don't play the game. Then don't play the game. Like, don't play the game. It's fine. Just go play another game. I am telling you right up front, I haven't played the game. I am looking forward to playing it. I'm just waiting. But that person, I should say, they don't have to play the game. You can move on. This is part of the thing. It's, I have seen other good reviews of Veilguard, and I've seen other bad reviews. And there's that old internet meme that people will put in something, like, oh, it seems like some people like this thing, and it seems like some people hate this thing. Interesting. And that's kind of what I think. If you don't like it, that's fine, man. You don't have to, I haven't liked games on the pod, but I try to say why I don't like them or why I don't think it articulates something. I'm not ripping on the game to be woke or whatever. I'm not saying like, wow, and plus too, I don't think I'm having an epiphany in real time. People don't want to be preached at. They want their politics in games or media in general. Hey, don't keep your politics out of my movies. Keep your politics out of my games. I hear games a lot because I review games poorly, apparently. But the idea is, I think the most clever thing that any kind of good writer can do is preach to you and you not even know it. How many years of media have we been... we've seen something like, God, that was such a good movie or book or video game or poem. I don't know, anything. Man, that was good. And someone says, well, it's really about X, Y, and Z. Like I heard an interview with the writer and somebody would be like, whoa, I didn't even know. And like, yeah, it's because they tricked you. They did it. It's just in my opinion, all good writers are just illusionists. They're just not the Edward Norton movie. That was not great. Sorry, this is my illusionist rant. I like D&D and stuff. They showed the trick. I didn't want to see the trick. Once you see the trick, you're like, and that's a whole spoiler for a movie that came out in like 2001 or two or whatever. They kind of show how the sausage is made at the end, like how he's a magician, he's a stage magician, and they showed all that whatever. Um, it came out right around Prestige too, which is I think a couple years after. Anyway, sorry, that was my. Here's my thing: is like, again, I just want to talk about stuff that I enjoy, and if I enjoy it, I want to tell everybody, really love this. I really love it. You should check it out. If I don't like it, I'll say, listen, I don't like it, but it might be for you. You might like it. That's what I want to be, and I think maybe for me, the idea is I need to be less hard on myself and realize that, listen, you just come to something as you can come to it. You don't have to be the number one fan, know every moment. You just have to like care about something and at least and hopefully run into people that care about it too, maybe in the same way where you say like, oh, I'm not really sure about this, and maybe somebody helping you out. Like I'm playing I just picked up Wayfinder, which is really good. I've been following it for a little bit, and then I heard it had a beta, and maybe the beta wasn't as good, so I was going to wait. But then some stuff happened behind the scenes. It's a long story. It's a game. It came out on PS5 and I think PC. Crossplay, which is great. It's got kind of like a WoW adjacent art style, World of Warcraft, that kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it, where things are a bit cartoonish and like antique, but there's this weird bend to them. So like barrels aren't like these straight barrels, like they kind of curve sideways. I mean, I like that stuff. I like the art style, and they don't rip off that. It's just, you could tell that I think that is a style of art. I mean, it is, but I mean, I'm sure there's a term for it that I don't know. But I like it, and it was going to be online, and now it's basically a single player game. I mean, the coolest thing in any game, let's be honest, we're all old. We've got stuff going on. You can pause a game again? Oh, baby. That's like 40% of why I play a game. You mean I can hit the pause button when someone calls, or I have to use the bathroom, or I have to like start dinner? Oh, imagine if you got kids. I don't have kids. Imagine if you got a kid, and all of a sudden someone says, hey man, kid's acting up. You got to pause it. You got to go take care of the kid. You can pause games again. It's pretty great. I like that there's a lot of things to do. You basically are a wayfinder. There's different wayfinders. I have picked the sword and board guy because he heals himself after he hits people. It's kind of nice if you're playing solo. You can play with up to, I think, 2 or 3 squad members, which is fun. Anyway, my point is, I like the game. I just want to talk about how I like it. I don't want to talk about like, well, I wish this happened. I wish that happened. All these, like, there's some nitpicks. There's a lot of currencies in the game, but to me, that seems like a holdover from a different development time where they're like, well, we have to have an economy. It's going to be online, and now that it's single player, it's like, yeah, I guess we made all these currencies and they're in the game. But I mean, that is such a minor critique that like I just love the game. And like I said, you're a wayfinder. You can unlock the other wayfinders through either finding them in the world or completing objectives. I think some of the stuff is very spelled out, or I mean, with the internet, you can find anything and you can make it work. I just think that from now on the podcast, there's going to be different games I review. I'm actually the next episode is going to actually be a book review, which is something I don't do a lot of. I want to do a book review, but I just want to talk about things that I enjoy, and I just want to uplift things, like I said, especially when it comes to art, either a person or many people worked hard to bring you stuff that they think is fun and they think people will have a good time with. And I want to applaud those people and say, hey, you guys really did a great job. And so I'm not going to try to be kind of pithy online or whatever, or complain. I'm just going to try to be a little bit more uplifting. And I guess I've kind of realized through this rant that like, be a fan. Just don't be mean. Just be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, I didn't know this. Yeah. I think that's. I know this is like a weird rant editorial of my 3 to 5 bullet points I have here. But listen, if you like something, tell people you like it. If you don't like something, you don't have to say anything. It's that old adage: if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I mean, especially don't go on social media. Just like what you like, and if you like something, tell your friends, hey, I really like this, you should give it a shot. Or you could probably start a YouTube channel and be way more successful than I have at it. But just tell people you like what you like, and leave everything else at the door. Just forget all the other stuff. So, again, this has been a little rambly kind of episode, but I just thinking about this more and more, and researching this episode, sitting down today, going, all right, let me get some notes down. And I've had this idea in my head for a bit. Hey, just love what you love and like what you like. I think that's it this week, and I will talk to you guys. Actually, month. Talk to you guys in a month. Bye.